Yo, what's up, squad? It's the big homie SB23 back at you with some more words of wisdom. Today we're gonna talk about not letting pride and ego ruin your life. Please like, share, and subscribe. Spread the messages out. I ain't gonna lie, I'm having a good time doing these videos, y'all. I'm like that uncle, I'm like that drunk uncle at the party that just be dropping gems, and you know, at first when he walk up on you, you like, man, what I'm about to say today? But then within his own space of moving around and saying what he gotta say, Uncle drop you a gem that you wasn't even expecting to get on that day. But he'll leave you with some wisdom and then go on about his day. That's me, except for I ain't drunk. You know what I mean? But I'm having a good time with these, so we're gonna keep them rolling. Not letting pride and ego ruin your life. So there's nothing wrong with being proud of yourself. There's nothing wrong with having pride, but sometimes you can be too proud. You know what I mean? And that's just the thing with life. Like, even with something good, if there's too much of it, it could be a bad thing. So again, if you take in too much air, you can die. If you drink too much water, like if you are flooded with too much water, you can die. Even though you need both of those to live, too much of either one of those can kill you. So this is the same principle. See, that was one of them moments that he would say some stuff to you. We'd be like, what? Uncle's talking. He made some sense. But if you're too proud, you can have yourself in a position of feeling like you're too good to take advice or to take help from people. And again, this is one of those things to where I've experienced that within my own life. Sometimes you can be too proud, especially when you're younger. You don't know no better. You could be too proud to take somebody's advice because you feel like you know it all. You feel like you got it all together. You feel like you know what you're doing and you're going to do it your way, and it's your way or the highway. Not knowing that it's a multitude of ways to get to a destination. And again, like where there's a will, there's a way. That video I did a few days ago or a week ago or whatever, I talked about that, how it's more than one way to get to a destination. And if somebody comes along and can make it easier for you to reach your destination, then why not take that advice from that person? Why be so proud and so caught up in your own way of doing things that you don't take advice from somebody else that can make your situation move easier? You know what I'm saying? Just because you took somebody else's advice doesn't lessen whatever success that you have. It just means that you were smart enough to understand that you want to work smarter, not harder. You know what I mean? Just because you don't get more accolades because you worked harder on something. Like if somebody does something and you both reach the same goal, and this person got to the goal in an easier manner than you don't get no extra cookies, or you don't get no extra pats on the back because you took the harder route. In all actuality, we got to look at you and look and see why did you decide to go that route when it was an easier route to go? You know what I mean? So again, like I said in that video, like it's like putting it in a GPS. When you put a destination in the GPS, it'll give you, most of the times it'll give you 3 different routes you can take, and each route will have a set time on it. And most of us that I know are gonna take the time that takes the least amount. You're not gonna take the time that takes the most amount of time to get to the same destination. It just makes sense. Like, so that's the point I'm making when it comes to life, and not being too proud and walking with too much pride, because too much pride can have you out here feeling like you're too good to take somebody else's advice, or you're just too stubborn to do it. You know what I mean? And you can make your situation much easier if you do. You know, there's a lot of people who have a lot of wisdom and gems, like I'm coming on here and telling and expressing, that can make your life easier. And if you just took it and applied it to your life, then you will be able to reach your goals and whatever you want to do with the least resistance instead of the most resistance. So yeah, that's the pride thing. Ego is a different thing. Ego is, now pride and ego, I will say, they're not on the same energy field. Like pride, again, there's nothing really wrong with having, well, I guess they kind of are they're similar, but they're different too. Ego is dangerous. Ego is even, I feel like ego is more dangerous than pride, because ego, I feel like operates on a lower vibration than pride does. So again, there's that saying that pride falls before the man, and that's true. Like if you're super proud and you're too proud and blah blah blah, you can be holding yourself back and then find yourself in a situation, and then before you end up getting whatever it is that comes to you, that pride within you will fall and leave you exposed. So, but back to ego. Ego is like, you know, them cartoons we used to watch, and in the cartoon that'll have the angel and the devil sitting on one shoulder, and it's talking to the character and getting that character to try to move in whatever way, and the angel will be telling them all the ways it should be moving and the things it should be doing, and then the devil will be telling them all the things it shouldn't. Ego is like that devil that's in your ear telling you things that aren't actually factual. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing wrong with having a little bit of ego, because I feel like, again, there are times and places to implement these different energies depending on what situation you're dealing with. So there's a time to have a little bit of ego, but if you're walking around egotistical, then you're lost, because the ego will present a false image of yourself to yourself. So your ego will tell you you're better than what you actually are, or it'll create an illusion of your reality, and then talk to you and tell you that something is not the way that it actually is. So then it'll have you messed up out here in the world, thinking that things are a certain way when they're really another way, but your ego's got you caught in Twilight Zone, and you don't see it. You don't see things clearly for what they are. So thankfully for me, I've never been one to be egotistical or within my ego, because I come from humble beginnings. So, you know, I've had very little and I've had a lot. So it's like, I know what it is to be on both ends, and I don't take anything that comes into my life for granted. I cherish everything that's within my life, and even if it wasn't something that was good for me, I still cherish that, because within that it taught me a lesson, or, you know, it showed me something that I needed to know. So I don't walk around with the ego. I walk around with confidence, knowing that I have the power within me to accomplish anything that I want to accomplish and overcome any obstacle that is put before me. But confidence and ego are not the same thing. Confidence is just understanding that you don't hold any fear towards anything, and that whatever comes up against you, you can overcome it, as long as you move right and within the laws of the universe. But ego will have you out here not understanding the laws of the universe and moving and thinking that you are the end all be all, and that you're not bound to these laws of the universe like everybody else is. But that's not the case, because we all are bound to these laws. And that's why I've been talking about them and spreading the knowledge, because a lot of people don't even know that the laws exist. Like, they out here thinking it's wild, wild west and you can do whatever you want to do, but whole time not understanding that you're being judged by every action that you make. So, and then sometimes you're being tested and not even realizing. Like, sometimes the universe will again, I think I said this in one of my most recent videos, the universe will hear your cries for something. Let's say you want a new job, or if you want a new relationship, or, you know, a new partner, somebody to treat you better, or you want a new house or a new car. sometimes the universe will test you to see if you're even ready for that. So it'll slide something into your experience and see how you're gonna treat it, and then determine how it's gonna move for you by how you treat said thing. So again, you could have want a new job, but okay, the universe might say, okay, well, let's see how you treat this job. Okay, I'm gonna give you not exactly what you want, but I'm gonna give you something that is on the step up above where you're at, on the way to what you want. Let me give you this and see how you're gonna handle it, so that I know when I bless you, you'll be able to handle this thing that you said that you asked for. So you get this job, and you're working this job, and you can have the attitude of being so grateful to have this job, so this new job, because you can see the progression, and you know that, okay, if I work this, then it'll progress me to the next level. You can get that next job and treat it and cherish it with gratitude. Or you can look down on it and say, this job, it's not what I wanted, and you can straight up curse the universe, like, yeah, this I knew things don't work out for me the way I want them to work out, and blah blah blah. So now you're not even treating the job the way that you should be treating it, or putting the energy into it the way that you should, in order for you to then move on to the next level, to where you really want it to be. Again, and it goes the same thing in a relationship. So you could be in a toxic relationship one minute and be in your room crying, or wherever you're at. You might be at work stressing, or whatever the case may be, crying and asking and praying for a new relationship. Please God, send me somebody that is going to treat me right. And then you get this person, the universe say, okay, I'll give you this person, and you fumble it. And because you're still caught up on what was happening in that toxic relationship you had. So now you carry that toxic energy with you to this new one, and you don't treat them right. You don't cherish what you have. You're not appreciating what you have. You're only looking at it from one aspect. You're looking at this person and trying to find the flaws within them, because that's all you can focus on, because that's how the relationship you had before was, where it was so toxic. Now that the only thing you can think about is the flaws that person had. So now within every relationship after that, the first thing you do is look at somebody's flaws, even if their benefits outweigh the flaws. You're so focused on just the things that bother you, that now you done made this person equivalent to what the last situation was, and they're not. The universe sees that and then strips you of this person, and then the next person that you get with, you might be thinking like, okay, this is it. Now this is the person, and you get with them, and your ego has created the illusion that the last situation didn't work out because of that person. The whole time you're not understanding that it's you're the reason as to why that situation didn't work out. Because had you have taken that lens off and looked at that person for who they truly were, then you would have realized that the universe had blessed you with everything that you wanted, but you overlooked them, and you maybe have took them for granted, took advantage of them, and then moved on to the next situation, got with them thinking like, okay, now I think this is it, and then you find out that no, that actually wasn't it. Like, it was really that last person I was with, but now it's too late, and or it might not even be too late, but now you gotta completely rework the way that you're thinking, drop that ego, drop that pride, and really work on yourself. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that pride and that ego, it doesn't get you anywhere. When it's out of control, it doesn't get you anywhere but hurt, and missing out on opportunities that were presented before you. And you, just because you're so caught up in your own pride and ego, you don't capitalize on it. Anybody that watches Dragon Ball Z can attest to what I'm saying. Like, the difference between Goku and Vegeta is that Vegeta actually was more powerful than Goku when they first met, but his pride was the thing that has always been his downfall. He's so prideful that's what holds him back. That's why he can't reach the type of level that Goku does. So that was just a little bit of anime filler in there. But all right, y'all, I'm out of here.